A weak wombat was found stumbling along the street, and inside he was hiding a heartbreaking secret. Although wombats are naturally timid creatures, it is not uncommon to catch a glimpse of them rummaging for food at night, but it's quite rare to see the nocturnal marsupials during waking hours. Southern hairy-nosed wombats spend much of their lives in tunnels beneath the earth. Their underground burrows have a multitude of uses, and can even be home to more than one wombat at a time. However, this can pose a problem for landowners, as many people consider the curious creatures to be vermin. Indeed, the marsupials have been known to burrow under fencing, presenting a handy escape route to any livestock looking to do a runner. Permits aren't just handed out like confetti, though. They're often difficult to acquire and are accompanied by a set of rules. These guidelines restrict the number of animals that can be killed and specify a designated time in which the culling must take place. Indeed, individuals may end up being hit with a hefty fine, or could even face jail time. However, despite this, many groups argue that the rules are not being upheld. One such outfit is the Wombat Awareness Organization, or WAO, which aims to provide sanctuary for each and every unwanted wombat. The WAO was founded by Bridget Stevens in 2006 after she wanted to save an orphan wombat named Barney. The creature had fallen ill, and Stevens had been advised to transfer him to his natural South Australian habitat. So, the unlikely pair packed up and headed south. And care is exactly what Stevens had in mind one day in August 2017. The WAO had received reports that a network of wombat tunnels had been destroyed on some farming land in Saddleton, South Australia. It turned out the individual, known only as Julie, had been photographing the wombats at Saddleton for over 6 months. While at the property, she managed to capture some heartwarming images of what she believed to be a pregnant wombat. Julie had noticed 2 other wombats lying motionless on the ground. A quick check confirmed they were dead, but she was unsure about the fate of the other furballs she'd been photographing. Hence, she sought the help of Stevens and the WAO. When she arrived, Stevens found a distressed wombat stumbling down the road. He was struggling to move and going directly toward where his home was no more, Stevens recalled in a Facebook post. At the property, Stevens discovered a scene of devastation. There was at least 30 warrens that had been filled in, she told the advisor. As a result, Stevens feared that as many as 100 of the creatures may have died. Although the WAO reckons that wombats can survive for up to 3 weeks in the event of being buried alive, Stevens claimed there was little hope for the Saddleton lot. Nevertheless, Stevens was adamant that she would help at least one of the little fellas, and so she set about trying to rescue the struggling wombat she had seen walking down the road. Stevens rushed the helpless creature to the WAO veterinary surgeon, and following an x-ray, it would soon become clear to Stevens just how traumatic this particular wombat's ordeal had been. That's because Bear, as Stevens named him, had suffered several serious gunshot injuries. 2 bullets were found embedded in the animal's chest. It seems both had struck the animal's stomach and made their way through his body. Sadly, though, a 3rd bullet had hit Bear in the head, resulting in him losing an eye. But his savior was not about to give up on him yet. Stevens was adamant that the WAO would tend to the little wombat's every need until he was well on the way to recovery. He's in a bad way, but trying his hardest, an update on the WAO's Facebook read. Unfortunately for Bear, it was deemed too great a risk to remove the bullets that were lodged in his body. Regardless, it was clear that this wombat was a fighter. Indeed, 3 months after Bear's horrific ordeal, Stevens shared a video with WAO followers to update them on his progress. He still burrows, he happily grazes, but is still refusing to give up his bottles, she wrote on Facebook. Thanks to a concerned photographer and the dedication of the WAO, Bear is now well on the road to recovery. Sadly, though, there are many more wombats who won't be so lucky. Meanwhile, the Australian Department of the Environment issued a statement regarding the apparent case of animal cruelty. It said 2 experts had visited the scene and cast doubt on whether any animals had been buried alive.